Evening. Me and the dude out on another wild camp. It was Oliver's 11th birthday last week. I asked him what he wanted to do for his birthday and he said no originally, and then he said he wanted to go camping. So instead of going camping on his actual birthday, we've left it a week and we've got horrendous weather. Well, we've got a little break in it at the moment. We're walking up to his intended spot that I'll talk about in a moment, but we've been getting battered by some pretty heavy gusts of wind, and when we first got out of the car it was raining, but the rain has mostly died off now, but it is still quite windy. We're heading up Chinley Churn to Cracken edge. I'm going to find a spot there either on the edge or maybe somewhere down in quarry bit, not really sure. We're going to assess it when we get up there. It's not a very long walk, this one, shortish. So I noticed this when we came up here in Ethel Challenge. The Peak District's Best Style Award goes to this one, because it'd be absolutely cracking if you didn't drop straight down there, and if there were oats stopping you just walking through that. How you doing, Olga? Good. I got some red cheeks, kid. A bit windy, ain't it? But we're basically here now. We've got about half hour before sundown, and then probably 20-30 minutes after that like ambient light. So we've got plenty of time now. Find a pitch, get in tent, and get a cup of tea, I reckon. And we're getting a little bit of respite from this wind. So we're right on top of Chinley Churn now. This is where the Ethel bag happened. That's the Ethel. Very exposed up here. Hella windy. We're going to walk onto South Top, the lower south point of Chinley, and I think we're going to drop down into quarry bit, try and get a bit of shelter from this wind. I think the Allak would cope with it up here, I have no doubt. The wind's obviously, when it's in your face, it feels very exaggerated. It's probably not. It's forecast like 25 mile an hour with 30 mile an hour gusts, so it's not that bad at all. But just a lot more settled if you're not getting battered by it constantly. So we stand above like the start of the disused quarry. It looks like one of the old buildings there. Walk a little bit further on, try and drop down at a safe spot and find the spot. Begging me. Another one of old quarry buildings there. Excuse me. That's the landscape, this. But I'm hoping down there, around the end of my walking poles underneath there, I'm hoping that yields a nice spot. Some like seats have been formed out of some rocks, and Oliver's just having 2 minutes sat in one. Yeah, decent then, isn't it?
Found a spot.
So it's a bit off of the summit, but we're going to go and have a look next to that It looks flat, it looks mint. So that's where we're heading. And there's a fair few spots here. It all seems quite reasonable. So obviously one of the good things about the Allak is it's freestanding, so we'll get it out. We're going to try and put it here. The wind seems to be coming in from this side, so if we get us tent in there, we should have some nice shelter. We're also quite sheltered from the farms that are down below us. Not that I think it will be causing anyone a problem. It's always nice to stay stealthy-ish. We got about half an hour of ambient light left, so I think we'll be sound here. So let's get the Allak out and get it pitched. So we've made it into tent. It's quite pretty calm where we are, pretty nicely sheltered from wind. Quite difficult to pitch here. The ground was quite rocky, but I do feel that it would have been worse if we'd have tried to pitch up top, because we'd have been battling some terrible winds. So I think all things considered, it was just a battle to get the pegs in. We did it. We got them in eventually, and everything was pretty good. So we can't really whinge too much. So we're just going to set up a bit of admin and sort of mats out and things like that. And then I don't think it'll be mega long before tea. Do you want a cup of tea, Oliver? Should we make a cup of tea, or do you want some juice? Or
I mean, I've got my juice.
Okay, I might make a cup of tea. We've just piled in. I've seen 4 like fell runners all running past with head torches. It's pretty dark out there now, so must be crazies, but well, listen, they maybe think that about us camping in this, so we'll not be too judgmental, although we are a bit mental. Just got stove on. We're going to do our Oliver his hot water bottle, get in his sleeping bag. It's a bit cold, bless him, but he stayed in all his wet stuff, so he stayed a little bit colder than he probably should have been if he'd got dressed, but we'll sort him out. Got these mini camping water bottles. Got a nice little sleeve to them as well. They'll quite nice. They'll do a job, certainly in the sleeping bag. Not a great deal to show, if I'm honest. It's pitch black, but we are looking over. We can see some at farms below this bit. Down here you see odd car going past. Chinley's actually like right down there to our right. Like, we are a bit sheltered, we can't really see it. Moon keeps making a bit of an appearance, and I think you can just see ambient glower. I think that might be like Manchester, the glow of Manchester there. Couple of easy jobs tonight. Oliver's on the excuse me, expedition food spaghetti bolognese. I've got something to eat, chicken fajita with rice. Just getting some water boiled up. It's starting raining quite heavily now. Not had one of these before. I've had the stew and dumplings, I think it is, or is it shepherd's pie or something like that? I can't really remember, if I'm honest with you. And that was quite good, shepherd's pie one, so we'll see how we go on with the bolognese. Left this open up there, and well, I've got my door down at minute, I'm cooking, but got my one open as well, get a bit of ventilation in. What's that spaghetti bolognese like now, Oliver?
A lot better.
Yeah, sound. So we put not quite enough water in it. So we put the amount of water it said to put in it, and we left it for the time it said to leave it for, and it didn't come out very well, did it, mate?
Crunchy.
Yeah, it were a little bit crunchy, so we put a bit more water in it and put it back into the insulated bag. So we have an insulated meal bag. This was made by Quintcraft. Lucy Quinton, absolute star. I'd recommend one because it keeps your food, your dehydrated meal, piping hot while they are rehydrating. So back in there put another 100 ml of water in it and put it back into the insulated bag for about another 4 minutes, and it's rehydrated more or less perfect. Oliver, would you say?
Yeah.
Mm. Chicken fajita with rice. My first time eating this one, it's nice. Tell you what, that insulated bag. Yeah, I'm gonna eat this and then we'll talk to you in a bit. Hey up. We're in his bed still. Olive's on the lemon thermarest thing. X-Therm, I think it is. Oh no, is it X-Lite? Lemon thermarest anyway. And I think you're in the pipe dream sleeping bag, aren't you? I've got the X-Ped Winter UL that actually stays inflated now, and I'm in the Thermarest Chorus sleeping, not a sleeping bag, it's a Thermarest Chorus quilt. My first time using quilt. I've got his orange Trekology pillars. I quite like this quilt. There's quite a bit of room to move about and stuff, so I'm quite happy with that. We're going to have some snacks. We've got these Haribo strobes on go at minute. Maybe watch a bit of YouTube, and I think that'll be it for evening really. Get some kipping, so we'll see you morning I think, unless outrageous happens in the evening. And if it does, probably won't film it because you never know what it'll be. So good night. Morning. Decent night, wasn't it? Yeah, slept really well. Well, for me in the tent anyway. The little mining thing that we camped next has done us wonders. Wind were absolutely horrendous, but we hardly got hit by any. It was literally coming in all night from that side, and you could hear it zipping by, and tent didn't really budge. Fantastic. Obviously, that's a combination of the Allak being super strong and the windbreak that we used. So it's about 7:15 now. Sun up's about 7:30. We want to be moving for about 7:30. Back towards the car. Go and see our little Esbop and Beth. But yeah, a marvellous night. Here we are. Already just take the Allak down now. Not the mistiest, not the worst. We got some sheep that have kept with us in night. Just on next little ridge. Obviously taking a bit of shelter like we were. Can just not quite see top of South Eden. Can't really see over onto Kinder Plateau anymore. Bit foggy over that way, but pretty reasonable here. So we got to get this tent down, get it packed away, and then we're going to make us trek back up there on our long tops. Magic. Let's get finished off, and we'll talk to you as we leave. Oliver's just weighing all pegs out at Allak while I do unclipping process. Weather's took a little bit of a turn for the worst, but obviously not what we can do about that, just got to get it down and get moving now. One little thing I do when it's time to take the final peg out, I just stick my walking pole in little loop to make sure that the tent will not blow away, and then I can get it into its stuff sack. As always, tidied this campsite up completely, nothing left behind, leave no trace, couldn't tell that we'd been here. So that's us, Cracken Edge, Chinley Churn wild camp completed. Thanks for watching, it's been a good one, see you again.